Almaty is hosting the third Media Council-themed mass media in Kazakhstan: decline, stagnation or growth. The issues of the field are discussed by top managers of domestic media outlets and officials. The organizers of the event expect the dialogue will lead to consolidated decisions for all market players. So far, though, the goal seems to be virtually unreachable.
For the third time, top managers of Kazakh mass media gathered for a media council in Almaty. The main goals remain the same as 3 years ago: the discussion of corporate issues and possible involvement of state bodies in their resolution. Unfortunately, very few officials attended the event, namely 3 MPs and a representative of the Information and Archives Committee. All of them had tablet PCs, the latest fad promoted by the Prime Minister, and shared the same opinion that the stagnation of the media market is inevitable unless it can be forcefully shielded from foreign channels. There are many foreign TV channels of different variety, but we don't have many local ones. The MPs are confident that Kazakhstan's mass media should depend on the government orders, although the voting of hundreds of participants showed quite an opposite opinion. Other than officials, only 2 other people believe government orders will promote the development of competition among mass media. I see government orders as a drug because when TV channels or newspapers will start receiving increasingly big orders, it will be akin to switching to increasingly more additive drugs like heroin. This will make editors consider avoiding criticism of state bodies, as it could deprive them of the drug. For almost an hour, participants discussed the negative side of government orders. They help to survive the crisis but destroy professional journalism, leading to self-censorship and decreasing the quality of the product. I remember in my youth, when you bought good Indian tea, you had to buy some Georgian tea as a tie-in. So in dealing with government orders, I propose to avoid similar tie-in in the form of undesirable topics and speakers. However, in time when mass media ad budgets still leave much to be desired, journalists have little to choose from. This is why Kazakh reporters cannot be often seen biting the hand that feeds them.
The final results of the national census are finally here. The list of domestic records is now complete with a new questionable achievement. 21 months were required to tally all the numbers. Observers link this directly to the embezzlement scandal involving the leadership of the statistics agency, although officials said the missing funds didn't affect the campaign significantly.
According to the National Census 2009, the current population of Kazakhstan is over 16,009,000 people. The chief statistician of the country says the figure is right despite of errors in the software, which often registered one person twice. Some people think that they were not counted, but their forms were likely filled by family members, work colleagues or neighbors. The announcement of final numbers was long awaited as the census campaign was held 21 months ago, back in February of 2009. The delay was caused by the corruption scandals in the statistics agency. However, its current leadership denies all allegations. Aynur Mashubayeva, the agency's former head, as well as the 2 of her deputies, are charged with embezzlement of $5 million. I believe it's a mistake. The budget is formed by us, approved by the Ministry of Economy and adopted by the State Budget Committee. So many people could not have been mistaken at once. I think the authorities will resolve the situation and everyone will be free. Mishimbayeva's successors asked for additional funds after the scandal to complete the census. Perhaps just coincidentally, but the numbers are revealed right before the OSCE summit. Now the chairman of the organization will be able to cite numbers in his speeches. For instance, the country has a population of 10 million ethnic Kazakhs. 70% of citizens are Muslims, and the ratio of women and men is around 10:9.
Almaty officials and public activists are trying to solve the problem of internal migration in quite original ways. Over 2,000 residents of the infamous micro-district Shanırak, who do not hold residence permits, were registered within the city administration. This goal was accomplished with the help of Women's Association Maldir, the Association for the Development of Civil Society Argo, and Danish Church Aid.
Recently, the Almaty authorities came up with a way to overcome the problem of internal migration by deporting anyone without a residence permit, auditing temporary permits, and imposing fines to those renting out their housing for obtaining permits. The MPs proposed to set the initiative in the law. Currently, the main obstacle for obtaining a residence permit is the lack of suitable premises for the registration. Many citizens who built shacks on the outskirts of Almaty cannot legalize their dwellings due to the earthquake resistance norm. Thus, they will not obtain permits. To date, the Alatau district, comprised of 22 suburbs and resided by a large number of internal migrants, is inhabited by 14,000 people without permits. This is almost a half of the district's entire population. We decided that we have to provide a temporary registration for the residents of Shanrak, but we failed to do the same for the residents of Dumana district. In the case with Shanrak, it was an experiment. Now these people can find good jobs and bring their papers to order. While they will be improving their living conditions, they will be temporarily registered there.
Entrepreneur Uljan Abdukalikova is forced to change her familiar trading place in Almaty. On the eve of the Asian Winter Games, the city administration is removing all illegal and spontaneous trade premises as they supposedly spoil the image of the metropolis.
By the end of this week, disabled Uljan Abdukalikova will have nothing to feed her children. For the last 4 years, she made money selling newspapers, but on the eve of the Asian Olympics, ended up among those whose lots were removed from the city. Her kiosk was made on savings and earned money should have been enough to last the cold winter. District authorities decided otherwise. What should I do with my children? How should I bring them up or feed them? Should I go steal? The city bans me from trading. The demolition of a kiosk surprised loyal customers. People claim that this way the authorities violate their rights. I don't know about authorities, but they should have considered our opinions too. Abdukalikova says she didn't violate the rules of land use and complains that the authorities do not let her lease the land for the kiosk. The woman has personally appealed to numerous bodies with the request. She asked officials to understand that the disability pension barely reaches $80 and her husband makes $200 as a utility worker. That's right, on the eve of the Asian Games, the administration removes all spontaneous and illegal trade premises across the city. The city authorities are really determined in their efforts. In Medeu district alone, they have removed 164 kiosks and issued 67 fines. The administration says that with current campaign it shows its care about residents and guests, while spontaneous trade supposedly damages the city's image.
A test run of the largest in the CIS cableway was held on Friday in the Transili Alatau. Now it is possible to cover the distance between the Medeu skating rink and the Chimbulak ski resort in just 14 minutes.
3 years ago, the construction of the cableway was requested personally by the President Nazarbayev, and the project was finished as part of the preparations for the Asian Winter Games of 2011. In total, the cost of the unique engineering structure is estimated at $50 million. The length of the cableway is 4.5 kilometers, with a transportation capacity of 2,000 passengers per hour. It has 114 cars, each fitting 8 people. The cost of the round trip will be $14. The official opening is scheduled for November 15th. It is anticipated that President Nazarbayev will personally participate in the launch. Our construction is one of the top 3 largest and unique cableways currently operating in the world. Considering the other 2 were built 15 years ago, this cableway is the most modern in its class.
These were all the main news for now. Join us next week for more. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.